Sorry, buddy. All right. Definition of an entrepreneur. A person who organizes, operates a business or businesses, taking a greater than normal financial risk in order to do so. So, internally, you probably a moment ago saw the word entrepreneur and saw yourself as an entrepreneur. When you read the actual definition of an entrepreneur, I wonder if that changes it for anybody. What I see a lot in our particular industry, speaking of the real estate industry, is the desire to move from a sales practice to a business. The desire to move from a salesperson to an entrepreneur, somebody who owns and runs and functions like a business. And I think that's become a giant challenge for many, many agents. I know that in my coaching of our agents and in my training, I run across this all the time. But I want to do this, or I want to add a team member. Well, what's the plan for it? And then that becomes the discussion and the challenges. What's the plan? So that's what I'm going to speak to you about. Now, what you have in front of you. So, now, my kid could probably teach this because I've been beating him up as I work through his life, and I may use him as an example several times because I work with him on this. Vision, 4 years. Where do you want to be in 4 years or greater? And I'm not necessarily suggesting, this isn't a goal. Everybody, when I bring this conversation and I talk to people about this, it always ends up being a goal. Someone will say, I want to sell $10 million. To me, that becomes a goal, not a vision. So we have to look big, big picture. Where do you want these areas of your life, business, family, spiritual, financial, etc., where do you want to be at some term that exceeds 4 years? Because if you can figure out that vision, and I will tell you right now, if you look at this and you're thinking about it and you're trying to take a note or write it down, the hardest piece you'll come up with is this, and that's the vision of where you really want to be in a 4-year plus term. And I don't care if you go out 10 years. I don't care if you go out to retirement. A lot of agents will tell me $10 million in production, $20 million, $40 million in production, and I'll challenge them, how about a business that produces income from at some point on without your involvement? How about a retirement plan? How about a business that actually gives you revenue that you don't have to be involved in it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? How about a quality of life that allows you to, how about a business that provides the income that allows you to dedicate the rest of your time, or all of your time, to your family, your spiritual, your lifestyle, your relationships, and your health? That's a vision, not a goal. So there's the big, big difference. So goals, 36 months. What I would suggest to you, whoops, start with 1, we'll go to 2. I'm actually better with numbers than I am spelling, so that surprises me. Goals. What are 3 goals that lead you towards your vision? No more than 3, because when we get too many, it just becomes clutter, right? So what are a maximum of 3 goals that move you towards your vision? So if my vision is to, let's say that my vision is to have passive income of $250,000. Vision is to have a passive income of $250,000. What are 3 goals that get me there? So you got to begin to dig into, and these goals have to be achievable in the next 36 months. So what are the 3 most important things that I can accomplish to move myself towards my vision of creating the passive income that provides for my life from 4 years on, or 5 years, whatever that date is on? So once I list those, these could be anything. I said I may use my son. I will use my son. My son's vision is to be a pro golfer. What are your 3 goals? Say your 3 goals. Just briefly. Tom? 68.5 and top 5? So he's going, my son's off to Jacksonville University to play golf. So his 3 goals that he believes are the most important things he can accomplish right now to get him towards his vision of being a pro golfer is to get a scoring average of 68.5, to play in the top 5 at Jacksonville University. That'll get him press, that'll get him attention. He'll be noticed, sponsorship opportunities, things like that will be created through that. And then Tom is his golf pro. So now the fascinating thing is activities. What are the goals? One, this is goal 1. I have 3 activities that I can do that I'm looking to accomplish for each one of those goals. No more than 3, it doesn't have to be 3. Could just simply be one specific thing that I need to do, but a maximum of 3. So the fascinating thing is that this process begins to reveal where you need to be working. If your goal is to be an entrepreneur, if that's what you strive to be, this begins to uncover what you need to be working on. Believe it or not, my son, in order to accomplish these 3 goals, I think most of us would say he needs to go to the driving range, he needs to practice, maybe he needs to watch some videos, read a book on a top golfer's story about how, et cetera, et cetera. I think most of us would put that all in a pile and say he needs to do things related to golf. Guess what the next 90 days, he needs to earn $30,000. He has to earn $30,000, which means he needs to door knock every day. That's why I was asking. I wanted to find out if his plan was just absolutely had gone to you-know-what. He needs to door knock because in order for him to get to Tom, he has to make some money because guess what? Mom and Dad shut the pipe off, whatever, the funnel, whatever you want to call it. We said, hey, in order for you to totally reveal your level of commitment, you have to have skin in the game. So for you to do that, you have to go make money. He needs to get his real estate license because, as we all know, he can make decent money in real estate, and I think I can teach him how. So he's got, I think, totally different activities than anyone would expect because these 3 get him to here. If he gets to Tom, what's Tom going to do? He's going to help him get the 68.5 and we know if he gets a 68.5, we know based on the scoring average at Jacksonville University, which is ranked 64th in the country, we know that puts him in the top 5 without a problem. So it's interesting to think that this young man who wants to be a pro golfer needs to go earn $30,000, he needs to go knock on doors, and he needs to get his real estate license. And then we go over here to the tasks. I think becomes really, really valuable because the tasks are the parts of this that we can understand. Because my guess is if I said to any of you, first of all, if I asked anybody passive income of $250,000, how many, there'd be a good number of people that said when I retire, if you could give me passive income for 10 to 15 years beyond the number of years I want to be actively involved in real estate, I think most people, not maybe all, but a lot of you would say, heck yeah, sign me up. I want that deal. But then if I went and said, okay, well, what do you need to do today to get there? Most people would say, I don't have a clue, because if I did, I would have already done it. And we know as an industry that most people don't know how to do this because most of our friends that have real estate licenses that have disappeared one day and said they quote-unquote retired, had a cake at the office, and then they rolled away and nobody ever saw them again, or occasionally they popped back into town, or they called it every once in a while and say, hey, I have a referral, can I get a referral fee? But most people don't leave this industry with some sort of source of income as a result to the 30 years. They may have the rental properties, as many of us have, and they may have other, but they don't have income coming directly from the business that they spent 30, 40 years building. So that's what this does. We look at this and we say, and I just suggest that you make a long list. It's not the stuff you're going to get done today, but it's just a long list. If I need to earn $30,000, what's the things that I can do today to move me towards that 30K? Well, he can actually learn scripts. If I'm gonna do passive income of $250, what is it I can do today that moves me towards my 90-day? Now I've blended these 90-day activities that gets me to my goals, that gets me to my vision. The point is that we can digest today. So in 2000, and by the way, this has been evolving in my head for quite some time. It's been accelerated quite a bit in this year, because this year we formed these new things in our office called small groups. And it's me and 10 people, and we just really go really personal and very deep into people's lives and their businesses. And not everybody, believe it or not, asks me to talk to them about business. Some of these folks, I get into all of these other categories. But in 2008, when I bought Tom and Myra out of Remax Ability Plus, and then in 2008, when the world went to hell in a handbasket in terms of real estate, and in October of 2009, when I ran out of money, and I wasn't sure how to keep the business open, I didn't realize it then, but what I was doing was this exact process. I was trying to figure out what to do from 9 a.m. when the bank opened to 5 p.m. when the bank closed. Those were the hours that I managed. I only worried about 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, because those were the days, those were the tasks that I had to accomplish that day to get me through that day. I wasn't trying to figure out how to get Remax a billion. Everybody knows my goal is $1 billion, or my vision is $1 billion. But I wasn't trying to figure out today how to get to 1 billion. What I was figuring out today was how to get through today. So I just worked on what got me through the day, not what got me through the week, the month, etc. So, does this concept make any sense? All right. So, this is my health vision in terms of years. I want to retire healthy with a 33 to 34 inch waist, which I presently have, 160 to 170 pounds. I've given myself a range of weight because when I get 171, I have to get more focused on it. When I get 165, I can relax a little and not be as critical on myself. So I've given myself some space to work within. Right now, this morning, 176. So I've got to, I've got some problems. A doctor of pharmacy, she knows I can't stand medicine. I have no interest in medicine. I just don't want to be on any medicine. Every time we go to the doctor says maybe this, maybe this. I say no, just tell me the plan that doesn't involve medicine because I'm not taking it. I don't want any physical restrictions. We were in Phoenix, Arizona a few years ago, and my wife and I, we checked into the hotel. We had never really spent any time in Phoenix. And when we checked in, they had a plastic thing on the front desk that said all the mountains and the hikes, how long they were, how long they took, and how high, and difficulty, something like that. I said to her when we checked in, we ought to go for a hike. No, we didn't come to Phoenix to go for a hike. What the heck, we're here? It's on the thing. Maybe this is what you do in Phoenix. That, to me, we loved the fact that we walked up this hike, walked all the way to the top and walked all the way to the bottom, and we didn't have to stop. We weren't dying. We found great value in the fact that we could enjoy the process. We could just enjoy that process. So I want to go through my life that way. I want to be active. I want to be able to do what I want to do when I want to do it. I know there's going to be limitations, my knees, although I'm short, so that's not really a big problem. But I know that I'm going to have physical limitations that God puts upon me. But I don't want to create any of them. I'll take the ones that are given to me for my own, my own life and the way I was made, the way my parents made me, etc. But that's the only limitations I really want. And I want to meet my great-grandchildren. I got a beautiful son and I got a beautiful daughter. Someday I hope they bless me with a couple, lots of them, 10, 20 of them. My goals, I want to hike the Knobstone Trail. I've done it once, I want to go do it again. That's already locked and loaded, it's set in place. By the way, anytime you make any of these, the more people you tell, the more likely you are to do it. So, so I want to hike the Knobstone Trail. What I do when I set these kind of goals up is I tell everybody, and I use Remax Ability Plus as my real opportunity. So I go on our intranet and I tell everybody, and then everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people say, hey, that sounds fun, I'd like to do that too. And now there's 50 of us, I think, currently hiking together. But I want to hike the Knobstone Trail. I want to ride the Trans-American Trail. Anybody ride motocross? Want to ride with me? 5,000 miles. We'll start in South Carolina. We'll go all the way to Oregon off-road. Some on-road riding, but predominantly off-road. Neat ride. We can do it. We can do that in, I believe we can do that in 5 weeks. The Appalachian Trail. I'd like to hike from beginning to end the Appalachian Trail. Now, there's a really critical, so if you guys saw the reaction on my wife's face, you would know the critical element of this. All of your business, family, spiritual, whichever ones, whatever areas of your life. So, in the same spirit, now I'm looking at how do I break this down into activities in the next 90 days. Whoops, we're not going to go with the Appalachian. Sorry about that. We're going to go with the knobstone. So knobstone trail. I need to walk daily. Right? So in order to get myself prepared physically to do the 45-mile hike with 25 to 30 pounds on my back, I need to walk daily. Not only that, but because I'm the knucklehead that posted it on our intranet and invited all of our agents and affiliates and such to go. And by the way, anybody who wants to go is welcome to go. It is not a company trip. We have non-RE/MAX people going, RE/MAX people going, et cetera, et cetera. Anyone's welcome. We don't own the trail. We're just going to walk it. So, but in order to do that and put it out there, I think I need to be in above 45-mile shape. Because there's going to be some folks that are there that it's the first time they've done anything like this, and they're going to lean into me and they're going to want some support. They're going to want me to provide some leadership. They're going to want me to provide some guidance, some comfort, and assurance that they could get this done. So I need to work out 3 to 5 days a week. And I need to create accountability. Well, you guys now join my accountability group, because now when some of you see me, especially some of you that are my friends, you may say, hey, how's that walking going, Jimmy? But let me tell you where, well, let's go over here too. So in order to do that, I've got the task built for me to accomplish the goal. So now I go over here and I've got my daily tasks. I have to pick, this is the, sorry, they're in wrong order. Knobstone, there we go. All right, so here we go. So Knobstone Trail. So here's my daily tasks. I need to schedule walks, pick states to hike, pick dates to train, schedule time off, make list of supplies, determine reward, create a philanthropic goal, schedule educational days, obtain diet information, schedule celebrations, create accountability groups, staff days off, support, plan for effects on business, family, spiritual life, financial life, lifestyle, relationships, and health. So let me tell you what I've done. I get up every morning at 5 a.m. And at 5 a.m. I get up. This is all for me to be able to plan, because in order for me to accomplish all the things I want, I need more time. Because how many of us will say, well, I would work out, but I don't have the time. So I get up at 5 every morning. And from 5 to 5:30, I meditate, I journal, I read, I read a little bit of scripture, and I meditate, journal, scripture. And then at 5:45, I hear my wife's alarm clock go off. I hear JD's go off, but he doesn't really, I don't hear his feet hit the floor like I hear hers. So at about 5:45, I hear her shoes walking by the office as I'm just finishing up my activities. And then usually one of us has to go and wake up our son. And we walk at 5:45 every morning, Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. So we get up and we walk together. Now guess what? When I look at this and I'm trying to align the vision of my business, my family, my spiritual, my financial, my lifestyle, my relationships, and my health, how many people think that the fact that the three of us get up and walk together doesn't have a positive impact on my family? How many people don't think that has a positive influence on my relationship? We talk about lots of things. We have lots of great conversations at 5 o'clock in the morning. I've even had friends honk and wave at us when they see us in the morning. But the point is that although I believe you have to work on all of these simultaneously, and it gets to be pretty overwhelming, because this is just one, they end up complementing each other pretty well. And the fact that I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and then I begin to work on my day, and every day what do I start out with? I start out with listing 3 things that I need to do that day, the 3 most important things I need to do. There are days when I may not do anything with regards to my spiritual life, 3 activities. There are days when I may not do anything with respect to listing activities that I need to do with respect to lifestyle. I may not pick anything that's critical that day, but I always pick 3 activities, 3 things that are most important that day, so that I'm prepared and I turn that day into as beneficial as it can be. But again, as an agent, my goals are all centered around selling real estate. The primary difference, I would say, is that I had goals that were business related, but I had visions that were cumulative. So I have a number that I wanted to achieve, and so they weren't separated. I didn't go to the extent of creating a different vision for every area. I just had a sales goal, and I had a vision for it was a net worth, is what my vision was. What I wanted to be worth at the time I retired. So, totally different than what I'm doing today by creating a vision for all these aspects of my life and then making sure that the visions work together. I'm not sure if I answered that right or not, but
you do.
So all of that is, to me, very, very connected. By the way, one thing I want to touch on before I lose this is these tasks, when you lay out 3 tasks for today, they're done today. By the end of the day, they're done. They don't carry forward. We don't provide excuses to ourselves. So make sure the tasks align with your availability, your schedule, etc. For instance, I wouldn't task myself with something that's going to take 4 hours if I only have a 1-hour opportunity. So these are daily activities. We need to make sure that we're reviewing those activities on a monthly basis to make sure we're on track, that we're keeping up with them, and that we're on pace to accomplish those within a 90-day period. Goals, I think you should review those goals every 6 months, so twice a year, and then this vision gets reviewed on an annual basis. So I set the vision in place and I work towards it. Now, if I set this vision to be 50% passive and 50% active income, and all of a sudden John inherits a hotel that's running and it provides income that is 60, 70, 80% beyond, say he's got an 80% passive income now because he just inherited a hotel from his friend in Nigeria, because most of us have gotten that. But if he inherits that hotel in Nigeria and his passive income exceeds 50% of his current income, he absolutely has to go back here and amend that vision, right? He has to. So there are circumstances that will cause you to amend or to review that, but in general, annually, biannually, monthly, daily.
I don't know. I can only say wow. That was amazing. I got inspired. So don't leave. We have 3 more amazing things for you guys. So first of all, Heather and Monica are going to pass gift bags to you. Last but not least, $500 to Moyers.
Okay.
Oh, woo! Natasha! That's great. I'm very happy to see. And if you could connect with other people to help them in any way you can, that would be wonderful. Before you go, we have the last surprise, and that is, today is somebody's birthday. It's Jimmy Dulin's birthday. So the office got a little cake for him and iced tea and whatnot in the back.
Let's sing to him.
Okay, so if you would wish to, say happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jimmy. Happy birthday to you. see what Greg does. He connects everybody. That's what happens. Like, everybody's so quiet before. Okay, so our next speaker is Jimmy Dulin. Many of you know him. He's been featured in so many covers of the magazines lately. I don't even know, like, if he's going to Hollywood or what. So last time he had an amazing speech. I can't wait to hear what he has to say today, so enjoy.